I'm not getting involved in a drug deal.
I am.
Yeah.
100%.
You ever seen the
100%.
movies? Those guys hunt you down. They'll know.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to What's on the Fourth Floor. I'm your host today, Ethan Goobles, and I'm here with my co-hosts,
Jesse Osborne.
And Jacob Twibell.
Jacob.
Hi.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
You excited for today?
Oh yeah.
This is you've been listening to all of the podcasts up until now, and now you get your chance to
Oh yeah.
put in
Time to
your
shine.
2 cents.
Time to shine.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into our first segment, which, as always, is what's with that. I actually came across a hypothetical question that I want to propose to you guys and see what you have to say about it. It has a little bit of a story, or a quick one. So you're walking, pretend you're walking in the forest, and you find a black suitcase, and inside it holds $1 million and one slip of paper that's stained in blood, and it has a single word on it. It says "don't" with a period. Would you take the suitcase home, or would you leave it in the forest?
That thing is staying right where it was. I ain't getting involved with that.
You think it's like cursed or something? I don't understand what the blood is supposed to be. Yeah, but I think that's the point,
Yeah.
is that you have no idea.
Something's happened there, and I'm
Yeah.
not getting involved.
Of course, how did you figure out it was blood is my question.
You can kind
You
of
know,
tell.
It-
If it looks like blood, I'm gonna assume it's blood. So I'm just gonna take that.
You're not
as-
going to assume it's like strawberry jam or something?
Do people write notes in strawberry jam when they have questionable
What the-
$1 million briefcases?
It
sitting around?
doesn't say that it was. Oh, well, I suppose maybe. It says piece of paper stained in blood with a single word "don't." It doesn't say that the word was written in blood.
Still, if there's blood on there and it says "don't," I'm assuming those are connected. So it's like this will happen if you do.
So you would leave it in the forest per possibility that it could be cursed or some
Not
sort of.
cursed, just someone put it there as pretty much it's a trap. It's a trap. You don't go near it.
What about you, Jesse?
I'm taking the money for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm taking the
$1
money.
million?
I'll leave
I
the
would
s-
take it if it was like a penny. I'm not even joking.
Okay.
Because whoever put it there gave you a warning.
That's like kind
Yeah,
of
but
the
a
plot.
warning for what?
Have you ever seen the movie No Country for Old Men? That's kind of the
no, I
plot to
haven't.
that movie. Is a guy he like finds a drug deal gone wrong and he just takes the money, and so another guy starts hunting him for it.
Yeah,
I
I've
would take
heard
that
about
too.
the plot.
For
Yeah, I
$1
mean,
million, forget
$1 million.
that's worth any superstition. I am not superstitious. I'll risk it.
Yeah, I mean, if I see a quarter laying on the ground, I wouldn't quite pick up a penny.
So you
But-
would take the briefcase too?
I'd take the money. Yeah,
Can't afford
I'd leave
not
the
to.
note.
I take the note too.
What?
It's a funny story.
Three very different perspectives.
It's a funny story that you're gonna.
I found this money in the woods with this note
With the-
covered in blood
I have
that said
proof.
"Don't."
Yeah, there's no reason for the note. People can just believe you that the note was there.
I'll take a picture and post it on Reddit.
What would you do with your $1 million though? $1 million isn't gonna get you much.
You'd mostly go into college.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, great, I can.
I could just not have like a part-time job.
I can yeah, no, $1 million. Great, I can go to one more year of school.
It's getting there.
It's getting there, yeah. So I thought that was interesting. I don't exactly know what the writers of this hypothetical question were trying to get at, where they're trying to make you think that some sort of curse on it.
I wouldn't say
Or,
curse.
I mean,
it's
I
just
wouldn't-
a sketchy situation. I'm not getting involved in. It's like someone said "don't" because I'm gonna die if I pick up that.
Yeah, but
briefcase.
don't what? What does "don't" mean?
I don't know, but I'm gonna assume that means don't take the money. That's what I'm assuming.
You're gonna assume that. It could mean don't turn around, I
It
suppose that
could
would be
mean like don't leave the money
kind of
there,
dangerous
but
too.
like
Yeah, you turn around and there's like Jason behind you.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just gotta weigh your options. You know, are they gonna have that there and be like don't take it, or it could also mean like don't leave it. I'm gonna
Yeah, you
assume
gotta.
I'm gonna lean on the side of saying don't take it. So I'm just gonna.
It's interesting to wonder how it got there, but at the end of the day, I don't really care. I'm
Yeah,
taking
it's
it
$1 million.
anyway.
Yeah.
What if someone's watching and waiting for you to try?
Good.
In a forest.
There's a briefcase there that says don't. Obviously, there's some plan with it.
They could have just been somebody trying to. It could have been somebody escaping, like a drug deal gone wrong, and they had to drop it in order to get away.
I'm not getting involved in a drug deal.
I am.
Yeah.
100%.
You ever seen the movies?
100%.
Those guys hunt you down. They'll know.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
You'll take them on, Jesse.
I'll take them on.
Use the money to hire security.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, that. Okay. If I knew the money was involved with drugs, I wouldn't take the money.
I would if I knew it was a drug deal gone bad, still taking the money. I'm not taking the drugs.
Okay. Well, Jesse has a death wish, so I wouldn't take it if it was involved with drugs. However, if I had no idea why the money was there, I would still take the money. Let's leave it at that. I have another question if you guys don't have a what's with that.
I ain't got nothing.
Okay. This one is interesting. Would you rather be deaf or blind?
Why not
Interesting
both?
face from Jesse, thinking very hard, very intently.
Deaf.
Deaf. Rather
Seeing
see
is more
things.
important to me, I think, than hearing.
Yeah, I mean, so much of our world is built around being able
Yeah.
to see things.
I think seeing would be the most useful to have, but like I enjoy sounds and music too.
Yeah. But I mean, okay. Let's think about it instead of like, would you, like tomorrow you would go deaf or blind, which one would you choose? Let's think of it as you were born this way. So you had no idea what music sounded like if you were deaf.
I'd go deaf just because, like you said, our world is
Yeah.
so built on that.
Yeah, I probably would too.
It's just
The-
like such an inconvenience to be blind.
Yeah.
in-
I was thinking the other day, like, how do blind people, like, you know, go on the internet or do anything on a computer? How does that work?
I don't even I don't even know. I don't know if they do.
Because I mean, you can obviously your computers can have some sort of you know audio interface where it can like tell you what your
Yeah.
cursor's over or
Yeah.
something, I suppose. But like scrolling the internet, that's pretty hard.
It would limit you more than I think being deaf would.
Yeah, I think
But being
so.
deaf would not be fun. Like, how would you talk to people?
Sign language.
Sign language.
At least there's like subtitles, so you can kind of like if you're watching like you used to watch like videos and stuff. If you're
It's not as much of an inconvenience to be deaf.
Okay, yeah, I would agree with that. However, those people who have to interpret, sign language interpreters, they have like I think they have one of the hardest jobs in the world. Because imagine, for instance, a speech, like a I don't know, a politician's speech or whatever. If the officials, they always have their sign language interpreters. If there's a word or a concept that doesn't have like a one gesture, or one motion, whatever you want, I don't know what it's called.
sign.
One sign, yeah. You have to spell out the word. Like, imagine if these words were like, I don't know, like 11 to 20 letters long. How did you do that in order to keep up with the speech? How do you
It's-
stop and spell that word?
It's a difficult. Just like any. It's a foreign language, I suppose. It's just like any
He's gotta
foreign
get good
language,
at
but I think it's a little bit harder than other foreign languages because it's in a totally different medium.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose so. But I'm just thinking like imagine if it was a speech. I can't imagine. I'm thinking of like um if an interpreter was trying to interpret like they have them in classrooms too. So if a interpreter had to go to like a physics classroom, is there a a sign for Heisenberg's uncertainty principle?
Yes.
I have no idea. Do you
Probably
just like
not.
create the signs and then you tell the student like here's what I'm gonna do when the teacher says that? I have no idea that. So I think they have the one of the hardest jobs
It would suck.
out there. Yeah.
Here's another question. Um, Back with the senses. Would you rather you have to lose one of these senses? Would you rather lose your sense of smell, your sense of taste, or your sense of touch with like your fingers?
What?
You
So
have to lose
you
one
mean
of
like
those
you
three.
have sensation on your skin all over the place, or except for on your hands, or
Yeah.
okay? I
So
mean, you
you
use your
lose,
hands
you
most,
can't
so
smell anymore, you can't taste anymore, you can't feel
with,
anymore.
with
I
your
mean, yeah,
hands.
you feel like temperatures and stuff,
You feel temperatures?
like like across your body, but like
Okay.
you can't like touch something, you don't feel like how smooth the wall is, anything like that.
I can't even picture what that
Which
would.
do you lose?
Uh, Probably sense of smell.
Sense of
I
smell?
think that's the
You don't
easiest
think
one
it's
to
that
lose.
important?
No, I don't think it's that important.
I'm gonna go with the kind of weird one. I think I'd rather lose the sense of taste because
Sense of
I'm
taste?
such a picky eater. I'll find and just eat more
Oh,
eat more stuff.
oh. Yeah, I guess might eat healthier.
Yeah,
Like,
I might eat healthier because I'm
I
right here.
Yeah.
It's like,
guess
oh, that doesn't
so.
taste so good, so I
Yeah.
don't care.
I would lose the sense of smell too.
Well, okay, hold on though. Isn't some like large percentage of taste actually smell?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Those two senses are
Oh wait,
very
yeah, they're
interconnected.
really interconnected,
But I'm assuming maybe with this hypothetical, you're just saying you can lose one.
right? I remember when I was growing up, if there was something, I was a picky eater growing up, just like most kids. But the go-to for my parents when I wasn't able, when didn't want to eat something, like the go-to response from my parents was plug your nose and eat it.
I did an
Did you ever like
experiment like that in a science class one time, and we had to like try different types of soda or pop
with
with
you know
plugging your nose,
plugging your nose?
and it was like Coke and Sprite, and I got
And
it wrong.
no kidding.
Yeah, got it wrong. I was like, oh, this is. I could feel the bubbles on my tongue. It's obviously Coca-Cola. He's like, no, that's Sprite. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I should look it up. It's some large percentage. And of course, I have no idea if it's absolutely true or not, but did you ever have to do that, Jesse? Did you ever were you a
Mm,
picky eater? I feel like he's a
I'm a
picky
bit
eater.
picky, but it's like if I enjoy eating something, I could eat it like all the time, like once a week for months.
Yikes.
I could like once you find what I like, I could just eat that all the time. So
Do you have
it's more difficult, but it's also easier to please me.
do you have something on the top of your mind and
Well,
top
like
of
at
your
the
mind that
dining
you'd be able
halls, they
to
have like the same,
Right, they always have pizza out and
or some
like
of
that
like
kind
the
of stuff.
World's Fair stuff is like the same like recurring weekly schedule, and I used to
Oh,
eat
right,
that
right,
like
right.
yeah, I used
Yeah.
to eat that every
Yeah.
Tuesday night or whatever.
Me too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like when they have the make your
Yeah,
own mac and
and I
cheese.
always get it made the same way.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, yeah, I suppose so. But like every meal of every day, do you think you could
And
do
for
that?
breakfast, I eat like the same stuff every day too. Whatever like breads or muffins or whatever they have out, and like a bowl of granola, and like
A bowl of
a
granola?
bowl of granola and yogurt.
Well, it's 80%, by the way. 80% of taste is smell. So I feel like yeah, I could just get rid of the sense of smell, which would essentially be getting rid of the sense of taste as well.
The 2 for 1.
The two for one. But I
Buy one
wouldn't
get
want
one
to get
free.
rid of the, sensory touch. Um,
Feel like it
I
that
don't know.
you use that too much, or
Yeah, I
Too
feel like I
valuable.
use that too much, but you said you could feel temperatures. That was the
well,
first thing that came to me was
like your
like,
body feels it. Like you walk
okay.
outside, you feel that it's cold, but
So, but
like
if I
you're
accidentally put my hand on the
but like if you're
burner, would I know
no,
that?
you wouldn't know.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah. See, there you go.
You put your hands on burners a lot.
all the time.
You never know. You could just randomly grab something that, or maybe like, I'm only thinking of kitchen-related accidents. I don't know. You just randomly grab something that's hot. I would rather not burn my skin.
I think
You
there are
know,
people that don't have like the sense of pain, and
there are people who don't have a sense of pain.
that's like the
Yeah,
situation. Like you don't know if what you're grabbing is killing your skin cells faster than you can
yeah,
react.
which is unfortunate. That's a good question. I don't. Wait, what would you use? Lose, sorry.
Oh, I said sense of smell.
Sense of smell. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do one last hypothetical before we go to break. If Jurassic Park were real, would you visit? This is like
Are we taking Jurassic Park as the park, or Jurassic Park as in the movie where they all go out and kill everybody? Like the good side of it or the bad side of it?
oh, the yeah, just like okay, Jurassic Park as it existed in the first movie at the beginning of the first movie when it was a new thing they were just opening up. Here it is. It exists in the world that way. If it existed like that, would you visit Jurassic Park?
I would wait a while just to see if any. I don't remember the actor's name, but like the guy who spoils, like who ruins the whole thing. I don't remember what he was trying to do, but like the guy who like breaks the park, and so the dinosaurs all get free. In the first movie,
Is it the dude that's like
I
running
just
the
know him from
computers in the
Seinfeld.
background? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, his name is Newman in Seinfeld.
Yeah, it is.
Shoot. I can't
I
remember
would
his
wait to
actor's
see if
name.
anything like that happened. I'd probably
Yeah,
plus it's probably pretty expensive.
Jurassic. Oh, to visit?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to
yeah, I
fly
wouldn't be like
there.
crawling at the
And you have to
door,
think like
but-
admission for like if they must have put so much money into that.
Oh, right, yeah.
yeah, it wouldn't be like crawling at the door, but like say a couple years down the road, hey, let's go to Jurassic Park, and then I could just sit there and go,
Once
oh
it's been
wait,
Yeah. How
verified.
how long is a while, Jesse?
It's probably a year.
A year?
A year.
A year with no incidents.
I'll just see if anybody like videotapes it with their phone, and I'll just watch that instead. I'm never going there.
if it seems safe and everything, sure, it's just a zoo with
It's just a
teachers,
zoo.
teachers that'll, or not teachers,
Yeah, I've
teachers,
been to the zoo before.
creatures that will just rip you in half, you know?
Yeah,
I've
if
been
you
to
get
the
too close,
zoo,
sure.
and it is fun, but it's a little risky. These are large creatures.
I mean, what's the risky part of the zoo?
Oh, not at the regular zoo. I mean, unless like
The animals
the
get out
animals
from time
really
time,
tried
but
to
it's
break
not very
out.
often that
Uh,
anything bad happens.
I think the difference between Jurassic Park and a regular zoo is that the animals are so large that you can't just keep them in a cage. You know, you have to keep them behind a fence.
It'd be like the big safari areas. where
You're
you just-
trapped on an island with all these things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
You'd
rather
stay in
them
a
be trapped on
helicopter.
an island. That's the thing. I'd rather them be trapped on an island than me.
So would you go
I'd do like a flyover.
a flyover? You're not gonna land.
Yeah, I'd do like a helicopter tour of the island maybe. I don't think I'd get on the island unless it was like 20 years without any incident. I probably wouldn't wait 20 years, but I probably wouldn't go on land. I can't imagine. I don't know. For instance, if I were the one making the park, I don't know how I would design it to be the safest, but I would wait to see, like, I would wait a couple of years
Before
for
you,
them
like-
to like increase their, like, make minor adjustments to their safety, the whatever they have.
You gotta think somebody's gotta die for those new safety instruments to be put in place. There has
Not
to
necessarily.
be an incident for us to know that there's a problem.
That's true. It depends on how much money they're putting into the park. If they've got money to spare, then they might as well just always have engineers on hand to constantly be updating the park. But
That's who
and
Newman
not
was.
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I
I'll
don't
just
remember
I'll just
what he
stick
was
to-
trying to do in the movie
Well,
that
wasn't-
ended up like ruining the whole park.
Wasn't he like
I think he was trying to
paid by
steal something
somebody?
or something.
He was trying to steal something. Yeah,
I've-
he was paid by somebody to steal
He
like
messed it up
embryos or
royally.
something.
I've never actually watched Jurassic Park, so
Really?
I just saw it this summer. I'd never seen
the
it
old one,
The
right?
original first film.
Okay, I have not seen Jurassic World, the new one,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I've seen the old films. There are 3 of them.
I
Yeah,
think there's 3.
I think there's 3. They're good. I think I would recommend spending some time if you have free time,
No free time.
but I wouldn't recommend like setting aside time in your day to watch.
I didn't
Jurassic
think they
Park.
were that good.
Yeah, they're better when you're 10-year-old kid obsessed with dinosaurs.
I never really had that phase where I was obsessed with dinosaurs.
Yeah, I never really did either, but
I was more the toy car guy. Yeah,
toy cars,
toy cars. I had a crap ton.
like little Hot Wheels.
The Hot Wheels.
I
Yeah,
had some of those too.
So many Hot Wheels.
Awesome.
I like a whole suitcase full of Hot Wheels. I don't know why or where I got them from, but I
And I
wasn't
was
like
into, like-
obsessed with them.
I was into like WWE wrestlers for a while, so I had a whole bunch of wrestlers figures. I had a backpack just full of them. Like you know, nowadays kids bring the Game Boy or the DS or whatever along with them in the car. I just have a backpack full of wrestlers.
Interesting. No, I had I never had anything like that. I mean, I had like the Power Rangers, or like one or two of them.
Mhm.
I was mostly into like Lincoln Logs and Legos,
Oh, I had some Lincoln Logs. Never really
The-
had Legos.
the magnetic connecting things.
I was obsessed with those for a while.
Yeah, the little balls and the yeah. Um, yeah. So nice little trip down memory lane there. And with that, we're gonna take a quick break. And when we come back, we're gonna have the news. So stick around. And welcome back. It's time for the news, guys. I'm gonna throw it straight to Jacob. Jacob, you have an article.
That I do. This one's a pretty interesting one, I think, today. There's been a little heat between Boeing and SpaceX. It's pretty interesting. Both of them have had dreams to go to Mars. They're both kind of some private space organizations, or trying to start some space travel stuff.
Right.
And a few days ago, the Boeing CEO said on an interview, "Eventually, we're going to Mars, and I firmly believe that the first person to set foot on Mars will get there on a Boeing rocket," which is
Ooh.
pretty big words. They're pretty confident.
Ooh. Them is fighting words.
So a little bit later, Elon Musk, the CEO of SpaceX, just said on Twitter, "Do it."
Oh,
Yeah, it's
boy.
easier said than done. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're to the point where it's like, oh, we're pretty much to Mars at this point. I think
Yeah,
we
but-
can call that it's gonna be us.
And then Boeing said back, I think on Twitter again, "Game on."
Oh, wow.
Little healthy competition.
Yeah, no kidding.
So what do you guys
This
think about that? I think that's pretty cool, just to see these little.
isn't this exactly what Elon Musk wanted in the first place? Didn't he? Or the whole point of like trying to commercialize space travel was to
It's competition.
introduce the competitive nature of business, the business market. So isn't that kind of the point of? But it's interesting though. We've never seen it
Mm.
in this fashion. The only other time we've ever seen competition in space travel was, the space race
Mhm.
in
We
the
haven't really had anything
1950s and
since then.
60s, and that was between two competing world powers. And it was basically a play for dominance. And now here is it a play for dominance? Is like what are they competing for?
I don't know if you
I-
get anything out of being the first one there,
I think it's kind of one of those
You-
things.
besides like a footnote.
But okay, but if you're the first one, if you're the first company to establish the ability to visit Mars, I mean, obviously we know that. Okay, Elon Musk, his dream is to establish a colony on Mars.
Yeah.
So when he says go to Mars, he means it in an entirely different context than when NASA says it's time to go to Mars. NASA's like, okay, it's time to send like 2 people to Mars and like just to set foot on the surface and maybe do a little bit of science there. Elon Musk wants to send hundreds of thousands of people to
Mhm.
Mars and have them live there for the rest of their life. Like, but this competition between Boeing and SpaceX, are they competing for the same thing? I wonder.
I think it's kind of one of those situations. The first one who can do it kind of just gets the competitive advantage and everything. Because anyone who's not a
Right?
not
Yeah.
a billionaire space corporation, if they wanted to send something to Mars, they're gonna go with the guy who got it done first.
Exactly. And
They
th-
kind of
that's
get a
that's
they kind of get a monopoly on the market of
Yeah.
sending things to Mars, which obviously might not be that
that
big.
that was
but
the
it's
point
still
I was
there.
getting at it before. I mean, Boeing is such a huge aerospace company. They already have so many contracts with the government, and SpaceX is now starting to compete with that. But in the space travel sense, so now Boeing's got another competitor in that market. So I suppose it's natural that Boeing is now just coming out and saying like, "Hey, we're gonna beat you
Mhm.
at this." It's something that never really happens very publicly though.
Mm.
between two businesses, you know.
I think it's nice to just have some kind of, I don't want to say incentive because science is cool and people want to go to Mars, but like
Right.
just to have that extra driving force, I think is just really a
No,
thing that kind of needed.
I think it is an incentive.
Mm.
I think it is. I mean, it's incentive for the future prospects that your business will get out of it,
Mm-hmm.
your company will get out of it, and I think, well, at least Elon Musk. I don't know about, but was a Boeing CEO. What's his name? Boeing CEO. The one who said it.
Dennis Muhlenberg.
Yeah, I don't know about his aspirations, but it's going to Mars is more of a um right now. Elon Musk is more of a visionary right now. He just wants to make a human accomplishment.
Yeah,
It's more
and
of a
that's
human
why
accomplishment than
to
it is
me
a
it seems strange that like you're competing over this thing that like we all want. Like if you were just working together instead, wouldn't it get done? It seems strange to have a competition over something like this.
Yeah, I
But it's
suppose that's how the entrepreneur approaches things, though. They don't approach things
Yeah.
as like we're gonna, hey, let's all join hands and like get to our destination together. That's
Oh
not how
yeah,
they.
but it's
that's
kind
not
of
what's
like
gonna happen.
it's kind of like the space race. Would the Americans have gone to the moon nearly as soon as they did if the Soviets weren't trying to do the same thing?
Yeah, it's
Or would we have launched satellites
a
if they had launched
Right.
motivation,
them?
I guess, but you have to wonder what you would inevitably get out of it if you were the first one there. Like, are you gonna make money off of that, or is it like Elon Musk just wants to do it
Well,
for
they
personal
are.
reasons?
They are because there is a list of reasons why we want to go to Mars. I don't know what I was gonna say there, but why we would want to go to Mars, and most of those reasons are NASA's reasons.
Right,
So now you have a government entity that
right.
wants to send people to Mars. Now NASA doesn't build their own rockets, so this is just how our space travel has always worked. You know,
Hmm.
the government bids, for the best contractor to build their vehicles. So that's the point here. Is I mean, SpaceX would be able to do it themselves and send their own people.
Hmm.
I think that's what Musk wants. But what's up for stake here is those future government contracts,
Hmm.
and I think that's the where the business
Yeah,
aspect
because
comes
once you
into
get
it.
locked
Why
into
there's a
those, they're
competition.
gonna the United States will
Right,
probably if SpaceX can prove they can do it first,
right,
the United States is more likely to go with them and stick with them because
exactly.
it'll kind of be its own system that kind of loops around itself because they'll get more money from the government to do more things, so they'll get better and better.
Yeah, exactly. So it makes sense why there's a business competition here. But I think it's really cool all of the implications it has for just space travel in general.
Mm.
Something we haven't seen, like you said, since the space race.
So if there's a colony established on Mars, this is just a bit of a tangent. Um, do you think it's gonna have a national, like, is it gonna be like, oh, this is the U.S. colony on Mars?
Isn't
Oh,
This
there a
is this is the U.S.'s land.
isn't there some treaty I can't remember what isn't intergalactic like space treaty or something like that that some countries have signed basically saying that they won't like governments can't appropriate things in space, so we couldn't have the United States colony on Mars. It would just be
I
again
think there's
private
something.
private corporations can do it, but like government entities can't claim.
Yeah, I
It's
think
like
this is a question that um, lots of legal scholars have been asking themselves the last couple of years. I'm not for sure.
And
Like, I think
if
there's
you're like the
something like
first
that.
people there, could you just claim the whole
Could
planet?
oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Well, no, I don't think that's how it works. I think what it is, I think it has something to do with like the United States could not claim the whole planet.
Mhm.
I think there's current legislation or current
Yeah.
treaties that say that, or in any country or whatever country gets there. I don't think they could legally claim the whole planet.
Mhm.
However,
How
if
does
a
it work if it's like a business like Elon Musk sends
exactly,
people
yeah,
there?
yeah.
What does that count as?
Well, the
Is that a country?
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
It has to be
we've had it.
governed.
looking back in human history, we've had like companies set up colonies on, like that's how
Yeah.
some of the colonies in the United States got established, or the New World, but they were given permission to do it by the king.
Right. They were operating for the country.
They were operating for, yeah, they basically said like, I'm going to go do this and I'll establish it as a colony for Great Britain.
Yeah.
Whereas we don't have that here. We
You
have
don't think
just
that's what would happen?
would SpaceX say like if you give me, no, SpaceX doesn't need permission to do this.
Mm-mm.
I mean, the worst the United States could do is say like, oh no, you can't launch on United States ground. But that's, now they're building platforms that they can launch from the ocean. Like I could see in the future where they don't need to launch on anybody's land or in anybody's waters. They could launch in international waters. This is interesting. SpaceX as an independent entity could launch from international waters and land on a planet that no one is claiming or no one has claim to. Establish a colony that could essentially govern itself. They could create.
So it's like a new country?
Yeah, they could create a new country.
That's another question too. Like if NASA or someone did send our astronauts onto a Mars colony or something like that.
Wait, okay.
If we sent them on the SpaceX thing, are they still
Oh,
American citizens? Or
like
or do they still follow American laws, or are they kind of just on their own out there?
I saw something about this the other day, and there's like nothing to say that they couldn't, like but the real question is though, why would we make them follow laws? Because like who's gonna enforce it, for one thing, and because it's such a big gap, like it would almost be easier to let them govern themselves. It's really akin to the British, going back to the British Empire colonizing. I mean, they had colonies all over the world, and each colony had their own governor and government set up. But they were still tied to the crown. They were still technically governed by the crown, but they were essentially governing themselves.
Took 3 months to
They
get a
were
boat
self-sustaining.
across the ocean.
Exactly. Yeah, they were essentially self-sustaining. I could see some situation like that where like we could say, okay, well, you can pretty much govern yourselves, but there are some rules that you're gonna have to follow. You
But that's the question
can't
of,
claim the whole planet for yourself.
But like,
Or
the thing I'm thinking is, once people are there, they can do whatever they want, and I don't think you can really enforce anything on them because they're literally a planet away. Like you could send
Yeah.
more people,
Send the
but
cops.
that doesn't seem like a
yeah,
that doesn't seem like a very
cops.
feasible solution.
The only thing I think you could do, and this wouldn't be popular to anyone back on the home planet, but like you could not threaten to not send them resources if they didn't follow the rules.
Oh.
But I think like if
But I
like, if
think
some
we're
mom
assuming
knew that
a
they weren't gonna send
self-sustaining
their son,
colony, though.
But if on Mars, it might be more difficult to get some things.
Sure, it might be more difficult, but I think I wrote a research paper on this. Like, Elon Musk doesn't have a plan to just set up a colony on like a colony that we supply. He has a plan to set up a self-sustaining colony, and his idea to make it self-sustaining. Obviously, there's technological barriers that we have to break, but his idea to do the best way to do that is just to send as many people as possible.
Yeah.
So that's why he's thinking like the first shipment of people would be like a couple hundred. They wouldn't be self-sustaining. We would have to send them resources. But once they establish, a general architecture for a civilization there, we can send more people and eventually get up to like a city of hundreds of thousands of people. By that time, it would be completely self-sustaining. So if it's hundreds of thousands of people living on a city on Mars that's completely self-sustaining, I would probably say, okay,
Just let them.
just govern themselves. I mean, I don't know if the question is though is like, would SpaceX have a claim on the colony?
Would they own
could
it?
Could it be? Yeah, would it be?
Like,
I
who
really
the
don't think
company's
you can.
colony.
I don't know. It's space imperialism.
Hey, I think I heard about that one time, kind of with the whole like I think governments aren't supposed to like make claims on like interstellar bodies
Right.
and
I,
stuff,
I
or
always think
other
of the
other
movie
bodies,
The
but
Martian.
like SpaceX could go and claim that, and like it's not outlawed for a private corporation to, but I don't think like the U.S. government, whatever,
Right. It's a government
would
treaty.
wouldn't step in and say, okay, we'll defend you
Mm-hmm.
because Boeing is trying to invade their colony. It's like the United States probably wouldn't step in and say it wouldn't defend it because
Right.
that's not, they can't claim that as their own place.
It's interesting to think about. Well, and going full circle back to the original comment that the Boeing CEO made, if you read further into the article, because I also saw the same
Mhm.
article. If you read further into the article, I mean, he's not talking about like Boeing now has their own ambitions to send people to Mars, just like SpaceX does. What they're talking about is right now NASA's plan to go to Mars includes something called the SLS, the Space
Mhm.
Launch System, and the Orion Crew capsule, which are vehicles that are built by Boeing.
Mhm.
So that's what he means.
Yeah.
And I think he's okay in saying what he said. I think he does. I think Boeing has a head start on
Mhm.
SpaceX because the Orion is it Orion, both vehicles, the Orion space capsule and the SLS, are both currently in production, and uh, SpaceX hasn't even tested their heavy launch vehicle, the Falcon Heavy, yet. So I think they have a head start, which is probably why he's egging Elon on because he thinks he's got a head start.
Mhm.
Um, he's basically saying, "Catch me if you can."
Yeah.
you
They
know.
have SpaceX has made some amazing strides in the past few years, though.
Oh
They're
yeah,
going so fast.
it's incredible, and this is actually probably a good time to talk about it. Their test launch of their Falcon Heavy will be coming up soon. I don't know what the date is. You don't you don't happen to remember the I'm asking Carson, our silent sound engineer. You don't happen to remember the date of their next launch, their Falcon Heavy. It's in January. Okay, so it's coming up. If they can stay on schedule. So some cool advancements in the field of space travel and the field of space law
Mhm.
is pretty incredible.
Be interesting to see how that develops, because it's just gonna be one of those things where someone's gonna lay the brick down that starts the
Hmm.
whole how that's all
Now,
gonna go out.
I'm still because I don't know because I'm a science major. I'm still for going to Mars only right now solely just to explore. I don't want to go and I would rather not go and set up a colony there. I think there's no purpose. I think it actually hurts our chance or um uh learning about
Mhm.
the planet. I think it actually hurts that. So I
Why
don't
do you
know.
say that?
Well, you just never know what kind of influence a human. You're setting up a civilization, a human
Mhm.
civilization on a planet that's never seen humans before, and we don't. There's only so much we know about the planet right now, and so in the interest of scientific curiosity, why would we allow humans on
Mhm.
Mars to live there? We have no idea what kind of impacts they would have.
It's like when European settlers came over to the United States, they would never have known how much their diseases would have caused the destruction of the Native American populations.
Exactly, exactly. So what we need to do is send explorers in their own little bubbles, try to eliminate
Contamination.
as much contamination, quote
Mhm.
unquote, of the planet as possible, so we can learn as much about the planet before we get on there and start ruining it. And actually, learning in trying to learn about Mars and its history, we might know, in effect, to learn more that would help us to establish a colony on Mars. I think it's a step-by-step approach. It shouldn't be a let's go straight
Go
into
straight to
colonizing
colonization.
I think
Mars.
that's what a lot of people want to do.
Yeah, because
It's exciting to say we have a colony on Mars, but is it the best step?
no, yeah, and I think the danger is in the fact that those people who want to colonize Mars a lot of them say that in order to do that, they want to terraform Mars,
Yeah.
which is still out of the realm of
That's a long
possibilities right
process.
now. But like before we go start changing other planets in our solar system, let's learn a little bit about it first. I think they're getting ahead of themselves. Yeah, interesting stuff. I'm really excited.
We'll see
We'll
how
have to,
it develops.
yeah, we'll have to keep our eyes out. With that, we're gonna end that segment. We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, Jacob has a game for us.
Oh yeah.
And I'm super excited to see how that goes. All right, well, stick around. Welcome back, and let's play a game. You ready for this, Jesse, Jacob?
Yep.
Nope.
Oh well, that's the end of the podcast. Just kidding. Today I made up a game today. It's called the Google Translate game. Basically, have you ever tried to translate something like
Is this similar to the videos you see on YouTube where they take like a famous song and they've translated it and then the people sing it?
I guess maybe kind of you could say it like that. Probably it's that some.
Yeah,
similar to that.
I've seen some like
I've seen some
was it
kinda
like
stuff like that.
Disney
Yeah,
Disney
basically what happens here is I
songs.
take a famous quote from something and
Okay.
I'll put it into Google Translate. I'll translate it into like 10 or so languages just for fun. Doesn't matter. I just click on random ones and whatever pops out, you guys got to try and guess what it is, what it's from,
Okay.
or what it is. So
Okay.
there's three categories. There's two movie quotes, there's two song quotes, and there's two physical law quotes to keep this science related.
All right.
And what I'll have you guys do is I'll have you guys pick a number between 1 and 6, and that'll tell me which one to look up on here.
Gotcha.
And then I'll tell you a little hint about it, like this quote is from a movie released in XXX or whatever number. And then I'll tell you the quote, and if you can right there, if you could tell me what it's from and generally what the quote is, I'll give you 2 points. But if you have no idea, you can sacrifice one of those points, and I'll give you a better hint.
All
Maybe
right.
more about what movie is it from or what actor, like one of those or something like that.
All right. Let's play.
I'm
We're
ready
ready.
to go.
So, Ethan, pick a number between 1 and 6.
7.
You lose.
I gotcha. 4.
4. All right. This is a chorus of a pop song from 2013.
Oh boy.
I am the
Oh, boy.
hair of my head, and I love not with mercy. I will break down thy walls. Thank you. Leave me alone.
Do I get a chance to steal?
Yeah, as you said.
I don't know.
Does he get a second? Does he get a guess on this?
If after I give the hint, and everything,
So
'cause
say it
usually-
again. It's from 2013 pop song.
2013 pop song.
Okay.
I am the hair of my head, and I love not with mercy. I will break down thy walls. Thank you. Leave me alone.
You need a
Oh, wait,
song
is this?
name?
Is this? wait.
Is that what you're? Do you need the song
the
name?
song name and just the general gist of what the
And what the
Lord.
lyrics
Oh,
are?
I can't do the
Okay.
quote.
like you don't have to get it perfect.
I
you know?
might be able to tell you the song.
I have an idea, and I'm trying to remember. Was it 2013? Was it 2013 when this song? Is it Miley Cyrus? I came in like a wrecking ball. Is that what it is?
Yep, that's what it is.
Oh,
I came
boy.
in like I have it written down.
Yeah,
here.
I don't know the
I
lyric.
came
I have
in like
no
a
idea what the
wrecking
lyrics.
ball. I never hit so hard in love. All I wanted was to break your walls.
Okay,
All you ever
that's
did
what
was
got me.
break
Was
me,
the
wreck
the
me.
break
Was the
down the
walls.
barrier or whatever it said?
So
Yeah.
I'll give you 2 points because you knew generally the gist.
I
of
was
what
also thinking that.
Oh, you were thinking that?
Yeah. It was
I
the
was-
breaking the walls thing, and I was like, well, that's got to be it.
I didn't realize it was that long ago though. 2013.
Yeah, I
Neither
didn't, I
did
didn't
I.
believe that either when I googled it because I had to Google the year and I was like, no.
All right, Jesse's
Okay,
turn.
Jesse, you pick a number between 1 and 6.
Not 4 though.
Not 4. Unless you want to have the same problem, have the same.
But all the points are used up on that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's no
say,
more
oh,
points
I'll
to
take
give.
those 2 points. 2.
2. This one is a quote from a movie released in 1994. Mother always had a coffin or chocolate. I do not know.
Oh,
I have no idea.
I know this. Wait, do I get a chance to steal?
If he wants to take the point to
Yeah.
Say it again.
Mother always has a coffin or chocolate. I do not know.
Yeah, I know this one.
I'll sacrifice 1 point for a hint.
Oh my god.
This is from Forrest Gump.
Oh
which
my
I'm telling
god.
you.
I have not seen that movie.
I
Wait,
haven't
wait,
either,
wait.
But I know
The
quote.
hint was just telling him the movie?
Yeah, the hint tells you the movie. You lose because you get a point for guessing the movie and Goof for guessing what the
Right.
quote was.
Oh, so
So
okay,
you
he
can
just
lose
sacrificed the
you can
movie
lose the
hint.
movie
Okay.
point to get it more.
You're giving up?
I'm giving up.
Okay,
Okay,
I
I've
think
never
I can do
seen
it.
that movie.
You can
It's
steal it for a point.
I'm gonna do my Forrest Gump impression.
Please don't.
Life is like a box of I can't do it. Life is like a box of Mama always said life is like a box of chocolates.
Yep, Mom
Right?
always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know.
You never know what you're gonna get.
I like how it came with coffin in there. I thought that was
Yeah, it
funny.
was
It's
a
just like,
coffin. But when it said mother and then something about
so it had mother. What I figured happened in Google Translate, because I did it a couple more times and it just got even weirder. I think what it did is it took life and box and somehow merged those into coffin, because like death box, life box.
a life box.
The one thing that always
Interesting.
stayed the same was chocolate. No matter what I did, it
Yeah,
always
the
stayed
chocolate, yeah.
Chocolate would never go.
Damn.
All right, so that's another point for Ethan. And now it's Ethan's turn again. Pick a number between 1 and 6. That's not 2 or 4.
6.
6.
Get all the evens out of the way.
This one is a song. Okay, this is a dance pop song from 1987.
Oh, this is my era. Here we go. Here
Never
we go.
leave you down. Never let go and leave you.
Oh
do
my
not
gosh.
cry anytime you never cry.
Oh my
Do
gosh.
not lie anymore and do not hurt.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is by Rick Astley. It's I'm Never Gonna Give You Up. And I could probably give you some of the lyrics. Read it again.
Never leave you down. Never let go down and leave you. Do not cry anytime you never cry.
I'm never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around or hurt you.
Yeah.
There
we
you
mentioned
go.
that earlier before we recorded. I was like, that's already there. 2 points for Ethan.
Damn it. I'm about to
you
lose.
picked the best era of music though, because that's like the only music I
I
listen
had a
to.
fear that no one was going to get it, but then you heard you guys mention it earlier before we started. And I was
Yeah,
like,
we
oh,
were
they're gonna
talking
get
about
this
it
right away.
earlier.
I think I probably would have got that. I would have known the song at least.
Yeah.
And then once I knew the song, I guess I would know the line too.
Yeah.
All right, Jesse.
All right, Jesse.
Pick 1, 3, or 5.
3.
3? All right. This is a natural law of science. Every time there is a clear answer in restoration.
I'm thinking about it. Okay. Wait, say it one more time.
Every time there is a clear answer in restoration.
Oh, that's a you have no idea.
I
Wait,
have
this is
no
a
idea.
law?
It's a law.
The
Like a
law.
physical law.
Every time there's a clear answer and restoration. Nothing?
Nothing.
You gonna
I can
sacrifice
give
it?
you. Let me give you the.
Yeah, give me the hint.
It's one of Newton's laws.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was thinking.
What's the...
This is one of.
Say it again.
This is one of Newton's laws. Every time there is a clear answer and restoration.
Yeah, I think I know which one it is.
For each Newton's
Yeah, which
third law, for every force there is an equal and opposite force, reactionary force.
For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
for every action there's
Yeah.
a props. Nice.
So 1 point
Nice.
to Jesse.
1 point. Trash. I have to get.
You're dropping behind.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I already lose.
It's currently 5 to 1. So
Yeah, I
you
already
have a
lost
chance,
mathematically.
but Still fun.
Well-
All right, Ethan, pick 1 or 5.
1.
1?
Yep.
I like this one. This is a quote from a movie released in 2008.
Oh boy. I don't
Who
watch
will not
movies.
know who you are looking for? I will not give you money. However, professional experts need long-term testing. Please provide your employer with your skills. If my daughter goes, it will end. I do not want to watch, but you do not. I'm looking. I take. I am going.
Oh, this is Taken.
You did. The quote was too long. Once you
Yeah.
said "girl," it was
I know,
obvious.
know.
I was like, "Oh
I
my
couldn't-
god!"
What? Oh, geez. What is the quote? It's I can't remember.
You could just
but
give me the last.
it,
give me
it
the last-
ends. It ends as I will find you. Yeah. I will hunt you down. I will find you, and I will kill you.
Yep. I do not
Damn
know who
it.
you are. I do not know what you want.
Yes.
Looking for ransom. I can't. I can tell you I don't have money, but what I do have is a very particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that will be the end of
I
it.
actually I just saw this the other day.
Mhm.
I just saw Seth MacFarlane do that or say that line
Mhm.
in the voice of Kermit the Frog. So
I will not
if I
look
had
for
not
you.
actually though, if I had not just recently watched that video,
I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. I will kill you.
Okay.
All right, Jesse. I think it's safe to say you're screwed. But
Wait, are you gonna give him like a chance?
You can still have number 5.
Are you gonna give him like a chance, like to get more points, or
Do you want this to
Or is
be
this
all
gonna-
or nothing?
don't ask me? This is you. This is your game, or it could just be 2 points.
Like that, wouldn't you?
I would like that.
Been dominating.
You have no chance. You have no chance.
I can do this for all or nothing, and if he
Don't
gets
even
What
it,
kind
pretend.
of attitude is that giving the listeners?
I'm talking to you, Jess.
How
You
about
have
if
no
he-
chance to win this
how
game.
about if he gets this right? There's a tiebreaker that I can ask.
Oh,
I will
okay.
accept the.
So
All
number
right,
5.
and then-
This is another natural law of science.
Oh, this is gonna be bad.
Each person suffers from being relaxed, or he or she does not have to go straight to the right side unless he is forced to change that position by the above-mentioned warriors.
Warriors? Interesting. This is a long one.
Say it. Repeat it. Obviously.
A
Yeah.
natural law of science. Each person suffers from being relaxed, or he or she does not have to go straight to the right side unless he is forced to change that position by the
Oh.
above-mentioned warriors.
I don't know
I
what
got
this
it.
is.
I got it. I
I'm
got
gonna
it.
be real salty if I haven't even learned this yet.
No, I think
Were you
you
saying
have.
it's guaranteed I know it?
Yeah,
Yeah, guaranteed you know
100%
it. I think I know
guaranteed.
it is.
Give me a hint.
Oh my gosh.
This is another one of Newton's law.
Oh my gosh. You can. It's a matter of elimination now. It's a
You
50-50
only
shot.
got 2 left.
It's a 50-50 shot.
This is Newton's first law?
Yeah, well, you have to say it.
I can't even believe that that's no.
Yeah, yeah.
I find it
because
so hard to
it-
believe.
It makes sense though, doesn't it?
Not really.
Read the quote
I-
again.
Each person suffers from being relaxed, or he or she does not have to go straight to the right side unless he is forced to change that position by the
Unless
above-mentioned
you're
warriors.
forced to change that. Yeah, so
The last part, the first part makes no sense.
an object in
that's-
motion
this
tends
is-
to stay in motion unless an out.
I took the
Yeah.
old text for this
Okay,
one
what's
because
the
the
old
easy one
text?
was everybody preserves in its state of rest or of uniform motion in a right line unless it is compelled to change that state by forces impressed to their
I've
will.
been
Okay.
duped.
That's why
You've been
it was too easy. when
The
I
game
left
was
the
rigged. I saw you two talking before the podcast. The listeners know what happened here. Yes, it is Newton's first law.
yeah. Oh, so
Damn.
that means that we don't.
That
we
one
don't-
was
I'd-
that one was quite wicked.
yeah, I was happy with
Well,
that.
you should.
I'll still ask the question.
Yeah.
It was just it's kind of funny. One of these was translated using just one language. Which one do you think that was?
Oh, just using one language. Oh, like going to that language and coming back to English.
I went to Spanish and back or something
Okay.
like that.
I want to say it was the last one, because the original text was the Newton's first law. The original text was already kind of cryptic.
Do you have an answer, Jesse? You can choose the same one if you want, or you could change a different one.
Are you gonna just copy my
wanna-
answer?
Don't look so smug over there. I'll choose
scoreboard. Look at the
the-
scoreboard.
Whatever the song you got was by Rick Astley.
Rick Astley?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll choose that song.
Well, you probably don't want to choose that because Ethan was right.
I hate this game.
And that's the game. Ethan won.
Oh jeez.
Ethan won with 7 points, and Jesse had 2.
Oh jeez. And with that, that's the end of the podcast today.
It's okay, Jesse. Just the luck of the draw.
Some of us ended today with a little bit happier feeling. Oh yeah. So and with that, you've been listening to What's on the Fourth Floor. So Jesse, what is on the fourth floor?
I like to think it's
All of your points, all of the points that you could
all
have
of, yeah. They'll hold 2 points, and whatever I got from the last game, I don't even remember. I think I went negative. They're just hiding up there.
Maybe it's just a translation machine.
Oh, that would
It's
be
a switch up of people translating all of this stuff.
That's how
all this stuff.
Yeah.
Hello? If you're still here, it's because you're looking for more. If that's the case, check us out on Facebook at What's on the Fourth Floor, and Twitter at OnFloor4. Again, that's Facebook, What's on the Fourth Floor, Twitter at OnFloor4. That's at OnFloor, the number 4.